morning, good afternoon, good evening, traders from around the world, and especially you traders from lovely Las Vegas, and welcome to the 5th TV episode of Live with Oscar, Trading Live with Oscar. Traders, this 5th TV episode is also the 738th presentation that we have, so if you get a chance, come to my site and take a look at the rest of these classes. We have plenty of classes for you to learn from. I would like to read something for you now, traders, because we have something very, very interesting for you. We have a lot to cover in this video during this class, so please pay attention. Traders, if you're paying attention to economic figures, the recent round of weaker than expected job numbers, the less than expected manufacturing figures, the anemic housing data, and the sluggish retail reports seem to have the street in a bit of a panic, and boy oh boy does it seem that way. Many, if not all, of the TV financial news networks have been prompting, or I should say pumping, that doom and gloom. Oh no, it's the end of the world, the end of the trading world as we know it, the end of our financial situation as we know it. It's the end of the world. And boy oh boy have I heard a lot of that over the weekend. I will say this, after doing about 50% of my technical analysis, when that was complete, I was actually slightly more bearish after doing half my homework than I would like to admit. So looking at the figures that came out, and after doing 50% of my homework, I decided that I would head out to the streets and see for myself if we are slipping back into a recession, or if what we have is just a pullback in an otherwise very strong economic recovery. So I went out on the streets, and of course I took my camera crew with me, and boy oh boy did we find some things that were interesting. So traders, if you don't mind, indulge me and take a look at this quick video. Okay traders, I went out to find out if there was actually a recession taking place, and boy oh boy, you have to see what is happening before my eyes. First off, as you can see, people are coming in droves. It never stops. These planes come in 24 hours a day. They just come flying into Vegas over and over again. Look at all the arrivals, arrival after arrival, a few departures, but people are flying in like crazy. This is the airport in Vegas at 8 in the morning, traders. Look at these people gambling, spending money, running around. 8 a.m. here in Vegas. If you'll note, if you follow me through this video, you'll see that there are tons of cabs and limousines non-stop picking up people. Then, of course, we're walking by a buffet in a casino, any casino. Look, there's got to be 500 people lined up here for this buffet right now. Then I go to a different casino. This is a local casino, and listen to this. We're standing on the 5th floor, a 5-level parking garage. There's not a spot to be had. All the cars take up all the spots that are here. These people are here to spend their money. They're not losing any money. Well, I shouldn't say that. They're not winning any money. They're not going to the cashier and running home with money. They're coming to this town to spend money, and these are people from all over the planet. What's interesting is right now, you're looking at a local casino. These are people right in town in Vegas that have money to spend. We're not even on the strip. We're going to do that a little bit later to illustrate to you that if you think there's a recession going on, yes there is, but it's not so countrywide that we have bread lines going on. Look at the people that are out spending money on a Saturday night here in Vegas. We'll show you more. After we leave that part of Vegas, which is completely across town, we go to the strip and look at the hordes of people. Look at the crowds here on the strip. Woo!
And then you got a limo on the other side here.
And a limo to the right. Hello, recession, and a Jaguar up in front of us. A stretch Hummer limo, a limo to the right of us, a Jaguar in front, the crowds in the streets. Look, there's construction right now being done right there on the strip, adding to a hotel. Just look at the amounts of people that are here to spend money, traders. They are not here to lose money. They don't care if they lose money. They're certainly not here to win money. And the average person that you see walking by right now spends 5 to 10 grand a piece. Look at the crowds of people everywhere we went. there were crowds and crowds of people in Vegas spending money, going out to dinners, jumping in and out of limousines. And where is the recession? That's what I was wondering when I was walking around, because I expected this place to be dead like it was in 2007 and 2008, because Vegas was dead a couple of years ago. Look at this. There's a marriage taking place, a wedding. Oh, look, the famed pawn shop as seen on TV. You know that scene, right? Look, this is completely across town now, a third spot in Vegas. Look at the crowds. It never comes to an end. We were completely amazed. Look at how thick that crowd is there. We were completely amazed at what we seen, and the scenery was good, I assure you, but we were completely amazed at what we seen. This is a lineup, a queue of tens and tens of hundreds of people waiting to go into a very exclusive club called Tao. Very expensive, lots of money being spent, women dressed to kill. They must have spent $2 grand on their outfits. Where is the recession? Certainly not in Vegas. Look at how crowded the casinos are. Look at all the beautiful people here spending their money. We noticed almost everywhere we went, there were just crowds of people. The casinos were way fuller than we were expecting. The streets were jammed with people. There were machines ringing everywhere. The cars were full. The streets were full. The limousines were packed. There was a point, oh, another wedding, a nice beautiful wedding. There was a point that we seen limousines fighting for a spot because there's nowhere to park. There's so many limousines in town. Beautiful cars. Here you go, is the scene I was remembering from last night. Look at this. You couldn't even find the spot for these stretch Hummers. This place is absolutely jamming, traders. Vegas is going crazy right now, and I will say that if Vegas is going crazy with activity, it certainly is what we would call a poll, if you will, and I'll get to that in a little while, but this is sort of a small sampling of all the states here in our country. Watch this video. What you'll recognize is that there aren't a whole lot of Asians. In fact, it's almost all Americans and a couple of Euros. Hey, go Euro, right?
Hi, my name's Oscar. I'm here for the recession.
The what?
The recession.
The what?
See it? Look around. Look at the recession. Don't you see it? So far, I've been out this evening looking for a recession. I couldn't find one anywhere. Look around. Are you here for the recession, Mr. Cameraman?
I am.
You are.
I'm here to film the
Find one
recession.
while you were here?
No.
No, me either. So, hi. Come on in. Nice to see you, ladies.
Welcome to Vegas!
Woo!
There you go.
You guys have a good night.
You too.
Bye!
We are now at the top, very top. We are cresting. It's over now.
Top of the market, is that?
No, at the top of the escalator.
Oh, now you're going down.
I don't think, well, we're going down for now, but I think we'll be going back up in a little while.
Traders, you're going to see more of the same. After this, we went into another casino. You'll see that in a moment. And it was so crowded, it was hard for us to walk around. Here's the cage where people turn in money. I've never seen such a busier cage in my life. Usually that's an empty spot in Vegas. No one wins, right? There are even people turning in their money. Now at this point, we got my camera crew in front of me and there are guards following them, and I would imagine that in another minute or two the camera shuts off because these guys basically got thrown out of the casino, but we were able to get a whole lot of footage first. So I wanted to show you just how thick and rife this town is with people who are here to spend money. They are on vacation and they're not spending small amounts of money. This, my friends, is huge. Again, back in 2007, if you followed me on the streets with this camera there, it looked like a ghost town. Now, take a look at this place. It is rocking and rolling, traders. So, this has been a quick presentation, and when this video is done, I'd like to speak to you about it. There go the traders leaving now, right? The gamblers, you name it. They'll be back in about 5 minutes when the next plane lands. So, there's my quick presentation, and in a moment we're going to have a speech about this. Okay, traders, so that was our outing, and remember, I went out because after doing my analysis and after watching what happened in the markets last week and reading all the newspapers, of course, I was bearish too, so I went out, and what I found there was astonishing. Now, traders and omniacs alike, please remember this. Observing Las Vegas's activity is just like taking a national poll. When we receive statistics about our economy, it is more of a sampling or a snapshot of each city or state's condition, more so than a head count, right? They do not contact each and every one of us here in the United States individually before compiling and releasing monthly figures. So it's more of a sampling of citizens or companies from each state and not a direct head count. Vegas is a sampling of Americans from all over the 50 states across this country. This is what Vegas's activity looks like. You just seen that video. It's telling us that the recession is not all that bad, because if it were, those vacationers would be on bread lines, not buffet queues. And you saw 500 of them at least standing around on a buffet queue. So, it was not Asians, it was not foreigners, it was almost all Americans that I spoke to, interviewed, and who you seen in that quick clip. If you noted during that clip, there were very, very few people that looked like they were not from our country, right? So that made me stop and think, and I said, whoa, how could this be a sampling of the United States, what we just looked at? And if everyone on the street is crying, it's the end of the economic situation as we know it. It's the end of our financial situation. The U.S. is going to collapse. Because that's what we're hearing about on TV. That's what I'm hearing in my chat rooms. That's what I heard all weekend listening to TV. And that is not exactly what I think is going on. I will say this, traders, I've never once ran into a bull market in my life, or bear market, but I've never ran into a bull market that went straight up ever without some pullbacks, and I've never met a bear market that went straight down without some run-ups on the way. So that is not usually how a bull market works. It doesn't go straight up, it has pullbacks. So, after returning from my fact-filling expedition to see if I could find the recession here in Vegas, I completed my second half of analysis. My findings were eye-opening, to say the least. Traders, what I want to do now is I want to show you some really eye-opening charts. Remember, I read the papers, I listened to what was going on all last week, I traded through it with you omniacs, I did my homework all day Saturday, and said, boy, oh boy, is this an overly bearish picture? But I was only done with 50% of my work. Then I hit the streets, showed you my little expedition, came home and spent another 8 hours on my homework. And traders, I am here to tell you right now, that picture of the not recession going on in Vegas is only the beginning of why you need to not fall in love with the downside here. And I'm going to show you those charts right after this quick clip.
Making money in the markets is not an easy thing to do.
That's why I chose Metastock, the award-winning analysis and data package.
Metastock uses technical analysis, good solid information.
Not just hunches or guesses. This helps me make better trading decisions.
I find the best trades and I can decide when to buy and when to sell.
With Metastock, I trade more confidently.
And that's helped me be more successful.
Go to metastock.com/TG7 right now to get your free 30-day trial of Metastock software.
I love Metastock.
Okay, traders, after returning from my little expedition I told you about, I started to do more analysis, and I am going to show you some great things on these charts in a couple of moments. Okay, for you traders, before I go any further with that, for you traders who wrote to me this weekend and had the insane notion of referring to me as a perma bull, that's a real stretch of the imagination. I am one of the most versatile bullish to bearish, then back to bullish analyst traders you will ever meet. If it does not say it on a chart, to me it does not exist in my world. So for you traders that have called me a perma bull, haven't you watched the last 300 and some odd videos, or I should say 700 and some odd videos? Traders, I am whatever the charts tell me to be. I'm not perma bear, I'm not perma bull, I'm not perma anything. I read these charts, and that is why I am before you right now. But I will say this, I clearly have no opinion at all whatsoever. My opinion comes right off these charts. Traders, as we know, futures trading is extremely risky and can cause substantial financial loss. So if you do not have risk capital, forget the charts, forget this video, run for the hills, because you shouldn't be watching this show. But for you traders that have risk capital to lose, I am going to continue. I have filmed almost 750 instructional videos, very much like the one you're watching now over the past 4 years. You will find my only opinion is whatever comes off these charts. I have no opinion, traders. You must know that about me. If I cannot read it on a chart in my world, it does not exist. Before we go any further with today's lesson, I am here to tell you this. I think that because of the panic we see on the streets, we are all here. There's a herd mentality right now on the streets that is panicking, that is calling for the end of the financial world, right? That's what this video has been about. I would like to take you now down a little bit of a road with me, traders. Before we go any further, I believe we all need a refresher course in how bull and bear markets work, how they develop, and how they continue on throughout their lives. So I am going to show you some great things on these charts right now. We are going to go back 40 years if possible. I will not show you all those charts because I don't want to waste your time this evening, so I'll jump ahead. 1976 through 1977, this is the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the U.S. stock market. It is a bear market. You'll note the bear market goes down, then it has an upswing. Heads down, has an upswing, heads down, has an upswing, heads down, has another upswing. Heads down, has an upswing. The point is, there is no bear market that goes straight down, and there is no bull market that goes straight up. I have more illustrations. 1980 to 1981, bull market. It rallies, has a dip, rallies, has a dip, rallies, has a dip, rally, dip, big rally, big dip, rally, then it flattens out for a little while. Point being, bear markets or bull markets, none of them will go straight up, nor does any economic recovery, traders. Let's look at another picture. Let's fast forward a little further. We go into a bear market. Again, traders, the bear market has pullbacks on its way down. It never just goes straight down. It has pullbacks. What we are looking at right now in the S&P is almost the same thing, but let's look further. 1985, look at this monster bull, but with pullbacks all the way through, right? Pullbacks all the way through this chart. No bull or bear market, no economic recovery, nor an economic downturn just goes straight down or straight up. There will always be backfills. Let's look at another chart. 1986 through 1987. Look at how strong this bull market was all the way through 87 until we had our crash, but we'll talk about that in another video. Even the strongest bull markets have pullbacks on the way up. Traders, look at the size of that pullback. That did not turn us bearish. That kept us in a big booming bull market. Next clip. 2009 lows. Now we fast forward to today. We have a V bottom. We start a rally. Look, a pullback takes place, right? Another rally puts in a new high, a pullback, 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 a new high. Next frame. We go through 2009 into 2010, and of course a pullback, major rally. Then we have a bit of a pullback, but what you'll recognize is we're still in a bull market. Watch. As we have our pullback between May and August of 2010, still in a big booming market, has a pullback, and then continues on. All the while, it has peaks and valleys throughout its bull market. Then we come to today, traders, present day. This is one of the reasons why I want you to recognize first, no bull market nor an economic recovery goes straight up. Everything has pullbacks on the way up. Economic figures do, just as our stock market does. So, here we are now. This is exactly where we're at now. Still in a big booming bull market. Pullback, rally to a new high. Pullback, rally to a new high. Pullback, rally to a high. Doesn't quite get to a new high. Has a pullback. Rallies to a new high. Has a pullback. Down to the bottom of the major trend. Traders, when I look at charts like this, I recognize right away the last thing we should be is completely bearish just because of a test right here. Now I'm going to show you something extremely interesting, and this may look confusing to you traders, but you will see this. I will break it down for you. You will see the point I am going to make here and now. And then, when we're done with this chart segment, I'm going to take you into my whiteboard room where I can stand in front of you with a piece of paper on my board and pound this into your heads. I only want you to do this. I want this lesson to make you at least stop and think before diving headfirst into this bear market dip. We're having a dip. They're calling it a bear market. I call it a bull market dip. But I want you to recognize when we're done with this chart segment, I am not telling you to get bullish. I want you to at least stop and think. Think about the herd mentality before you become completely bearish. This is the US dollar. This blue chart is the US dollar. This represents the Dow Jones Industrial Average, or the US stock market. And as confusing as this looks, I'm going to take the confusion out of this for you. You have a drop in the dollar, you have an equal rally in the stock market. Then you have a rally in the dollar, look at the drop in the stock market. Then you have a big drop in the dollar, look at the rally in the stock market. Then you get a small drop in dollar, another rally in the stock market. A rally in the dollar, a drop in the stock market. A drop in the dollar, a rally in the stock market. A rally in the dollar, a drop in the stock market. A drop in the dollar, a rally in the stock market. A rally in the dollar, a drop in the stock market. A drop in the dollar. What's missing from this chart right here? What's missing? Let me see if I can do it again. Every time you get a rally in the Dow, you are heading down in the dollar, or every time you head down in the dollar, you get a rally in the Dow. Where is that rally? One more illustration, same chart, but now I have broken it down so that you can see there is absolutely one for the other. Downward move in dollar, A. Upward move in the Dow, A. Letter B, upward move in the dollar. Letter B, downward move in the Dow. Letter C, big downward move in the dollar. Big upward move in the Dow. D, down move dollar. D, up move Dow. E, up move dollar. E, down move Dow. This will just continue. F, down move dollar, up move Dow. G, up move dollar, down move Dow. H, down move dollar, up moves the Dow. I, up moves dollar, down moves the Dow. J, down moves dollar. Where is our rally in the Dow? Traders, this is important. This is what happens when dollar goes down. U.S. assets, or assets priced in U.S. dollars, go up. Now follow me into my whiteboard room, into my other studio, where I want to make this presentation absolutely sink into your heads. Again, I am not telling you to get bullish. I am telling you not to fall in love with this pullback. We expect the stock market to go lower the first couple of days of this week, if not even more. In fact, OMNI already has trades set up for the downside, which may already be hit and in play while I'm filming this video. So I am no perma bull, and I am ready to go short. But this is telling me not to fall in love with the downside. Follow me to my white screen.
Making money in the markets is not an easy thing to do.
That's why I ordered this free book and demonstration disc from Metastock.
Metastock uses technical analysis, good solid information.
Not just hunches or guesses. This helps me make better trading decisions.
I find the best trades and I can decide when to buy and when to sell.
With Metastock, I trade more confidently.
And that's helped me be more successful.
Go to metastock.com/TG8 right now for Metastock's free demonstration disc and a free book on trading strategies.
Okay, traders, so I showed you those charts. I am here to say this to you again. I am not telling you to get bullish because we are looking to short this thing Sunday, Monday, and then we'll see what happens. But I am here to say this. Neither bull markets nor economic recoveries go straight up. Just like the bull markets I showed you and the bear markets, they're jagged on the way down, they're jagged on the way up. So are economic recoveries and our downturns. So one bad month of economic numbers does not make a bear market. Traders, I want to get a little closer to those charts and draw on them a little bit to make sure that you completely understand what I am trying to show you. So with no further ado, let's go look at a couple of charts. Okay, traders, once again, this very same chart, now that you're looking close up to it, there is an equal or opposite move in the Dow for every wiggle in the dollar index except for this. And remember, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. There's one for every one, and we've dropped in the dollar. And what you may recognize is the dollar moves first and further, and then the Dow lags a little and finally goes in the opposite direction. So here is something else for you to look at. Here's where we are right now in the Dow, traders. The dollar had just rallied and we came off. Now, the dollar is dropping and we should rally. So again, I want you to look at that chart and I want you to recognize that we are probably going to hold in the next few days. Traders, if you like the analysis that you've just seen in this week's show, episode number 5, thank you Las Vegas, thank you my fans, my OMNI. Come on down to livewithoscar.com, grab a free membership in my chat rooms, and I will see you there. Thank you so much for coming to my show, and I'll see you next week.
Traders, Oscar Carboni is holding another OMNI Camp live in Las Vegas. OMNI Camp is an intensive 4-day course taught by the Wall Street whiz Oscar Carboni himself. Oscar has been analyzing markets and trading commodities on and off the New York trading pits for over 30 years. Listen to this testimonial given by an OMNI Camp graduate.
Well, Oscar, I got to say that futures trading may be risky, but the OMNI Camp is a guaranteed win. Man, I cannot thank you enough, seriously, from the bottom of my heart for allowing me to be at the camp, for the hospitality. Thanks to your lovely family. Had a great time, appreciate it so much. And I got to say, I feel so much more confident in what I'm seeing and what I'm understanding about the market, and I'm looking forward to having a long and a fruitful and a productive relationship.
Trading for a living is a very difficult business. Oscar will simplify the process so that you can easily understand and analyze the markets. Classes are limited. For more information, call 702-629-4755. Our phones are staffed 24/7. Futures trading is risky and can cause substantial financial loss. Trading futures is not suitable for all accounts.
Futures trading is risky and can cause substantial financial loss. We do not claim or guarantee that you will profit from the information provided.